At News Magazine YouTube channel, mostly we post these topics. 1. Shocking news. 2. Entertainment. 3. How to. 4. Popular stories. So don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Her dad has been feeding his daughter this for months. When he manages to pull it out of her throat, he is still shaking from the shock of what almost killed his child. A choking child is a parent's worst nightmare. That helpless little being, unable to breathe, gagging, turning purple and potentially dying. A horrific thing to experience. This father indeed experienced such an occurrence. Justin Morris is the father of then 10-month-old Annabelle. He's from Saskatchewan, Canada, and made a social media post regarding just how traumatic his experience was, while also warning parents so they can avoid what he went through. Just a reminder. As I sit here still shaking, I'm posting this as a reminder to all parents of small children. Please always read labels on the foods we feed them. As I had just finished feeding my daughter, I set some of these cheesies on her high chair tray as a dessert for finishing her snack. Well, in less than 10 seconds I had turned to rinse her bowl in the sink. Turned back and saw her gasping for air. She was trying to cry but no sound was coming out. I rushed over and picked her up and turned her over and slapped her back as we were taught. For what seemed like forever I still could not hear anything. I flipped her over and her lips had turned blue and she was still trying to cry. I tried again to flip her facing down and slapping her back but nothing. Turned her over and her lips were even more blue. It's at this moment I thought my little girl was going to die in my arms. I panicked and did the only thing I could think of. I rammed my finger into her mouth and down her throat and was able to squish the cheesy enough that the next thing I heard was the sweetest sound in the world. Her crying. I flipped her over again and slapped her back, and with the force of her crying it became dislodged and I was able to sweep it with my finger out of her mouth. It was the longest and scariest minute of my life. I called my mom over just to help calm me down and Annabelle. I was confused as she had ate them days before with no problem. After scanning the can, my mom found this warning in tiny letters on their side to throw contents at after 5 days of breaking the seal. I opened a new container and I could not believe the difference. The ones in the can she choked on I can only describe to be like a foam mirror plug. I could squish it but it would expand back out and would not break apart. The ones in the new can crumbled with ease. Again, this is not a post to degrade Gerber in any way. So many products post warning labels, but unless you scan the product you can get lazy as parents and it becomes routine. I attached pics of the product and the warning on the side and my little girl sleeping after cuddles of the aftermath. So again, this is just a warning to all parents. Read the labels. Indeed, the post has been getting tons of attention. Over 60,000 times and counting it has been shared. The father was lucky in this instance, and actually the action of sticking a finger into an infant's mouth is not recommended as it can cause the obstruction to get pushed even further back down the throat. Think of a Q-tip trying to get out earwax, yet it just pushes it back deeper. It can also result in swelling. Instead, the American Red Cross offers very helpful online and in-person training in order to deal with an emergency such as this. Baby Center also has a very helpful guide demonstrating in step-by-step fashion how to specifically deal with choking if it occurs with your infant. Always best to be prepared in the event that something like this does occur. For this father and daughter, a happy ending was indeed the case. Parents should always be informed of the potential dangers that are out there. Share this important information to spread the awareness even further. Thanks for watching. So let's get started. And subscribe this channel, newsmagazine.com.